the agenda of this U.S. delegation, apparently, according to what's come out in the media, is that they would actually discuss the need to reform institutions such as the World Trade Organization, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank. And Trump himself, as you well know, has criticized globalization and has, questioned even U.S. participation in many of these trade institutions. Do you think that Trump in some way does recognize that globalization, whatever macro words we might want to use, have been problematic, are problematic?
I think you're right. He does see globalization as more of a problem than a solution. I think it's very short-sighted. I think America has benefited immensely from underpinning the institutions that have formed the basis of the post-war global order. The fact that America runs the IMF essentially, the fact that America is in NATO, the fact that America has all these alliances around the world have delivered immense prosperity to the United States. And I think
but Alan, if I apologize for interrupting, but if I may, there would be those people, Alan, and I'm sure you know such people, who would say, listen, this is all down to capitalism, and I know that's a very large word with a very heavy meaning, but many people would say that, this is all capitalism's ills that we're seeing now play out in front of our eyes in many of these Western countries. How do you feel about that?
Well, I would say look at the record of the Soviet Union, or look at the record of any of the other communist countries. I used to live in East Germany in the 1970s, and I can tell you that a communist regime does not deliver prosperity in the way that a capitalist regime does. I think to throw things forward, what these events are showing is the need for fairer distribution of the wealth that capitalism generates. Look at Trump's tax cuts in late 2017. They went mainly, if not exclusively, to the richest Americans. Going back to France, I think Macron perhaps made a mistake in his sequencing. His first act was to emphasize the generation of wealth, which is understandable, by making clear that France was open for business and investment, by scrapping or curtailing the wealth tax. Now that sent, in my opinion, with the benefit of hindsight, the wrong signal. Look at the United Kingdom, where people are fed up after 10 years of austerity. Okay. I think the message is consistent. Politicians they mustn't kill the goose that laid the golden egg. They mustn't kill capitalism, but they have to be more sensitive and alert to the opportunities for a fairer distribution of wealth and income. And globalization, I personally think I think globalization risks fracturing in the short term, but you cannot reverse technological gains. You cannot uninvent the internet or containerization.
Okay.
Globalization and technical change are with us. We need to accept it. We need to go with the grain and harness the benefits of it, make sure that the fruits of globalization are distributed more fairly. That's